Hello everyone, I have a brand new video for you today, and this video is actually going to be just a quick overview of my collection of my California legal auto knives. And so this is a video I've thought about making for a while, but I've actually had a couple of requests to do so as well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over each of the knives here on the table, not too long, relatively quickly for each one. And I'll give you some thoughts on what I think about upcoming California autos that are going to be released and the knives that I want to pick up eventually, because as many as I have right here, I don't have them all. And I'm not collecting them just for the sake of owning them, but there are certain knives that look of interest to me, so I'm eventually going to be wanting to pick those up. So I'll try and throw up a timestamp so you can kind of skip to where you want to skip to in the video. But that being said, we'll go over the knives first, and then we'll go over upcoming knives at the end. So first off, taking a look at what's on the table, let's start over on the left-hand side here. The first one on the far left, this small knife right here, comes from GT Knives, and this is their Mini. And so this knife right here was one of the first California legal autos I owned. I've owned two of them in the past. This is the second one. The first one, the lock did not function, and it would just close shut with thumb action. You would just be able to fold it like a slip joint. So that, of course, was no good. The second one, I decided to give it a second chance, and it works. It doesn't, the lock functions, but there's just an incredible amount of wiggle in that blade. So this is about the least stable knife, I would say, on the table in front of us. So out of all the knives on the table, if there was any one I would not buy again, it would be this one right here. So again, this comes from GT Knives. This is their Mini, ATS 34 steel, no pocket clip, just a small blade, California legal auto. The pivot also serves as the button, which of course makes it so you cannot adjust this knife in any shape or form. So it is what it is, GT Knives Auto. Right next to it on the table is an SOG or SOG. And so this is their California Special. Nice aluminum handles. You can see the contours there. And you can actually see it's one of the biggest knives on the table. So it gives you a nice full grip. California legal blade. I have made a separate video on this. And so whenever I've made a separate video on any of these knives, I will throw it up here in the corner so you can check it out if you'd like to. Some of you may have already seen some of those videos in the past, and that's totally fine. But this one, perfectly functional, no problems with it. California legal blade, has a secondary lock as well, which is always nice to see, and a deep carry pocket clip. So this is the SOG California Special. There we go. Right next to that, we have our Kershaws over here. So I have 4 Kershaw autos, and I'm just going to start right at the top with the Kershaw Launch 4. And now the Launch 4, this is again one of the knives that started the collection. This particular one is the second Launch 4 I have owned. The original that I bought was a black model, and it was one of the first ones released before they started to put the American flag on the handle. That one was kind of gritty. The action wasn't really great, and I ended up selling it. And I wasn't really super impressed with the Launch 4. But after buying some other Kershaw Launch knives, I decided to give the Launch 4 a second chance. And this teal version I picked up from PVK Vegas. And so I actually bought it while I was visiting PVK Vegas on the Strip. I walked into their storefront, saw this on the counter, and I just liked the color. So this one was picked up in person, and this one is much improved over the first model I had. So this is the Kershaw Launch 4. Right beneath that, we have the Kershaw Launch 9, and this is another smaller legal auto. This particular one, we have the black blade and the bronze handles. These bronze handles were exclusive to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, so I probably have a video of this one as well you can check out. But again, really no flaws with it. It's a small knife, deep carry clip. Works just like you would expect it to, and that's how all the Kershaws are similar. They're all very solid knives. So if you're on a budget, Kershaw does have kind of the high, mid-upper budget level knives. Quite a few of them available for less than 100, and I would recommend them highly. CPM 154. I believe on all 4 of these Kershaws, they all have CPM 154. I guess I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Kershaw Launch 10. So we have the Hawkbill blade, this really nice wicked curved blade. Probably a great utility knife. This is just the first variant that they came out with, so that's the one I own. So no fancy colors here. But again, another deep carry clip. Very well designed. Not too much to comment on. It's a solid knife. It feels great in the hand. And a small Hawkbill blade. My most recent Kershaw that I picked up, though, is this one right here. This is the Kershaw Launch 12, and the original Launch 12 does have a slightly larger blade, so if you're going to buy one, make sure you're getting the California legal version. And there are several different colors that are available, probably even more so now since it's been a while since the release of this model. But this one, having the slightly longer body, gives you more grip, has these kind of faux quillions, or guards on there. So it gives it kind of a nice little stiletto look, but still black wash blade. Liking how that looks. Love the green aluminum handles, carbon fiber inserts, and I think they all come with the carbon fiber. That's not like an extra upgrade or anything. So every Kershaw on the table here, very solid. I don't think you could go wrong with any of them. So if Kershaw is a favorite brand, have no hesitation buying any of these 4 knives. Very good. Let's go ahead and move over to the other side of the table. What I also want to show off are some of my Protechs, because these Protech knives, Protech is really well known for making auto knives, and they've started to dabble a lot more in California legal options lately. So right here we have the Protech half-breed, which again, we have a nice full-size handle. This is the handle of the Protech, I believe it's called the Newport, that has a 3-inch blade, but they went and they stuck in the blade from the Protech Sprint, which is a California legal blade, and we have this lovely knife right here. So S35 VN blade, carbon fiber insert on the black aluminum handles, and they make so many different variants of this knife. There are lots of high-end, low-end, standard runs, and this particular one, deep carry. Again, Protechs are super solid. You're going to have 0 issues with a Protech if you choose to purchase one, and that's one of the reasons why I love the half-breed right here. So we have the half-breed Protech here on the table. My other Protech is called the Calamigo, and so again, slightly smaller handle, still nice and beefy though, easy to grip onto. We can see this nice drop point blade, shiny blade, satin finish there. You can see it's 154 cm, and another knife that comes out of the first production run, deep carry clip. Basic black aluminum. They've come with a lot of different variants of this knife as well, because generally, again, that's what Protech does. That's what most of the manufacturers here do. They'll come out with your standard model, and then if you wait a little bit, you're going to get all kinds of colors and materials and patterns worked into the handle that you might otherwise not get. So for getting the first production run, generally you're going to get black aluminum. But again, a very solid knife. Would not hesitate at all to recommend the Protechs here on the table. Each of them is just superb. The action on the Protechs is amazing. So their side open autos are probably the best on the table, to be honest. Right underneath my 2 Protechs, I have a couple of Hogue knives. First one being this guy right here in teal again. So we have that nice light blue color, and I like color, so I try and get things in color when possible. But this is the Hogue Micro Switch. So see that blade fly out? This is our nice little Warncliffe style blade, but they also make it, I think, in a drop point version as well. They also make this handle without the built-in bottle opener at the end. I opted for the bottle opener version though, because it gives you some flair, it gives you an actual useful tool, and just a slightly larger handle to hold on to as well. So really great utility knife. This one I haven't had too much use in it, but if you intend to use it, this color might eventually wear away on the handle, give it some nice character. But really, I have nothing really bad to say about it. You can see the pocket clip. It's not deep carry, but you can see what it is. We have an insert for the pocket clip for left or right hand carry, secondary lock, and the Hogue micro switch. One of my more recent pickups was right here. This is the Hogue Micro Incursion. So we have an OTF here on the table. These ones can be a little hard to find nowadays, but if you can pick one up, they are a great bargain for a OTF knife. Super solid action, really nice deep carry pocket clip, and it's small. It's not a huge knife. It's very easy to carry with you, and you forget it's there because it's so lightweight. The action is really good. Really, nothing to complain about with the Hogue Micro Switch, or Micro Incursion, sorry. You can see the blade steel, more 154 cm. Sorry if I've neglected to mention any blade steels on anything so far, or if I forget. Just leave a comment below if you have any questions about anything here on the table. Just kind of showing these off a little bit. All right, let's work our way in towards the middle. Let's go with the Bokers, because if you are truly looking for a value, a budget knife, the Bokers are going to be the place to start. This one right here is the Boker Compact, and that's spelled, I think, with a K. So it is a Vox design knife, AUS 8 steel. And the action on this one is pretty good. This one right here, straight out of the box, the blade was not very sharp, so it took some effort to get an edge on it. You know, just due to the style, I wasn't able to get a good edge initially, but it took some practice, but I was able to get a nice sharp edge on there now. So nice and shiny. I like mine serial number 5, so I got a nice low serial number in the run. These ones can be hard to find. You know, I think the style is what draws most people to it. So even though it looks the best and the handle feels really good in hand, given my initial impressions, I think there are a lot of better options here on the table. Some of them from Boker themselves, but this was the Boker Compact. And right beneath that, this is probably the best value option we have out here. This is the Sub Kalashnikov. So we can see this knife right here, more AUS 8 steel. If you're familiar with the full-size Kalashnikov autos, this is right in that same ballpark, just a slightly smaller handle, smaller blade. And that is what we have here. A lot of different colors they have of this one. They have some in S30V, I believe. So tons of options. I recommend Blade Ops for the Sub Kalashnikov. I don't think it's exclusive to them. I could be wrong, but that's the best place to go in. A lot of options there. I'm going to skip over this one for a second. Let's get to the bigger Sub Kalashnikov. So this is a kind of a mutation I made. So this full-size handle right here did come off of a full-size Boker Kalashnikov. But what I did is I swapped out the blade for one of the cleaver Sub Kalashnikovs. So you can see it is a full-size handle, sub 2-inch blade, and we're good to go. And so it works perfectly fine. I'll link the original video I showed making this knife. I originally tried to use the blade from this one, but that spear point / drop point blade does not fit flush in the handle of this full-size handle, whereas this cleaver blade does. So great little utility knife, full-size grip. So if you're worried about handling these knives with gloves or something like that, this might be worth your time. Or maybe not, since you have to make it yourself. You know, taking the things apart is not fun. So we have a Kalashnikov there. And the Boker Stubby Strike right here. And so the Boker Strike is a full-size knife, a full-size auto they make. And so they made a shortened version called the Stubby Strike. So again, it's a solid knife, probably one of my favorites of the Bokers, just because how it looks. It looks very ferocious, but still small. You know, it's like a fun size model. But again, deep carry pocket clip, optional safety on the handle, nice action, a little heavier than the other ones because we have those full steel liners in there, and aluminum handles still. So really nice to look at. This is a popular one. I can tell just from the views on my videos that I get over the time, a lot of people have been looking into the Stubby Strike. So here it is right here. And if you want to see this knife or any of these knives compared with each other more in detail on this table, just feel free to leave a comment below, and I'm willing to show close-ups and angles of whatever you want to see out here. You know, so I just kind of want to help people and show you what your options are. So the Boker Stubby Strike. And some of the ones we have left are my Microtechs here in the middle, and I've made a lot of videos on these ones, so if you've watched the channel recently, you've probably seen them. First one being up here, we have the Microtech UTX-70. And so, just to summarize it, you know, it is a nice little OTF knife, the smallest of my 3 Microtechs, has the glass breaker on the end, very typical Microtech style. High quality, really no major issues with it. Action on this one is not as good as the other 2 Microtechs. So if I had to make a choice between these 3 again, this one probably would not be my first choice among my Microtechs. But very comparable to the Micro Incursion. And out of these 2, I would choose the Micro Incursion, to be honest with you, especially given the price that you're going to pay for a Microtech. But right beneath that, this is probably one of my favorites. This is the Mini Trudon. And again, similar in size to the UTX-70. But boy, oh boy, is the action improved. This knife is just fun to play with. So we have a nice little Tanto M390 blade. Small Microtech handle, but it's a little beefier. It's a little thicker. And honestly, that makes all the difference in just holding the knife. And if you're going to use the knife, it does help a lot. So the Mini Trudon, again, just a nice knife. You know, really no faults I can give you with this one. And I think the last one I haven't covered yet is actually right here. So we have the Microtech. This is the Bounty Hunter Exo Set. So the Exo Set is kind of meant to be a money clip style knife, but it has this nice beefy auto blade on there. So check that out. This is wicked. So they have this nice two-tone finish on the blade. All of the Bounty Hunter, / Star Wars theming to it. The color, the beaten look. I mean, everyone loves that. And so these have been recently, as of now, they've been coming in and out of stock at various dealers online. So I think they're still actively producing them, actively distributing them, depending on where you look online. And the prices aren't too much more than a regular Exo set. So if this style is your interest, then just keep an eye out. Go search out your favorite dealers and just keep an eye out for them in the new arrivals section. But the Microtech Exo Set, Bounty Hunter Edition. So like showing that one off too. And I know this video is getting kind of long, but I have all these knives on the table. Still, there are some that I want to pick up in the future. Probably one that I want to pick up, but I may not for a while because of the price and availability, is going to be the Emerson Bull Shark. So let me throw up a picture of that. So the Bull Shark, again, it's a sub 2-inch auto. It's a side opener. The Emerson name is probably what's adding the exclusivity and the price tag right now, because I could find one right now on the secondary market, but I don't really want to pay those prices for one. So I'm going to wait until the price comes down or they just become somehow more available. Not in any kind of a rush, because there are a lot of knives out there that interest me. But the Emerson Bull Shark hopefully will be one that I pick up soon. Also, a new Protech that I want to get. It's not new, but it's the Protech Whiskers model. And that knife isn't new, but they came out with a California legal version. So it has that nice short blade, but the full-size handle. The interesting action of that knife with the bolster lock type deal. So I hope to pick up Protech Whiskers as well soon. Coming out soon as well, not released yet as of this video, is going to be one of the SOG Knives new autos. They call it the SOGTAC Compact. And so, again, it's probably going to be similar in size to this one, but it has a different style handle. It has a Tanto blade, and I think they have a couple of different variants of it as well. But that one looks really interesting, so I'm definitely going to pick one up when I get the chance. So that's going to be a new SOG SOG knife. Boker Plus. There's going to be another Boker coming out this year as well. It's an OTF knife. They call it the USB. And I think the reason for that, of course, is because it's very small. So I think they're going kind of like something around this size or smaller, where it's an OTF, but it's meant to hang on a keychain and look kind of like you have a USB drive on your keychain. So I think they're going kind of the subtle route to carrying a knife. So definitely want to pick that one up. It's going to be very inexpensive in comparison to the other OTFs on the table here. So hope I can get my hands on one pretty soon. A few others that I will mention as well and definitely want to pick up eventually. No Limit Knives. And that's a kind of a brand name I'm not super familiar with, but I did some research. They have an OTF called the Akuma, and they have a lot of different colors and blade shapes. So I'm definitely going to want to pick up one of those pretty soon and see how this kind of essentially no-name OTF company compares with what I have out here. And I know there are a lot of cheapy OTFs, California legal ones you can buy, but this one has an M390 blade. It looks high-end, so I'm kind of tempted to see how it looks and how it works in comparison to what I already own. So the No Limit Knives Akuma pretty soon as well. And last but not least, these are just the ones I could think of kind of off the top of my head. Bear & Son, Bear Ops knives. They have a California legal auto called the Bold Action 3. I do want to pick it up. Bear Ops, they're kind of really hit and miss on quality. Kind of in the same vein these GT knives brand is. It's hit or miss. And I've had some good luck with some Bear & Son stuff, but my overall impression of the brand isn't a good one. So this is one, if I see it on clearance or good sale, I'm going to get it. But otherwise, it's kind of at the back of the line in terms of, my order of picking these up. But I could be missing a lot of knives too, because there are every year manufacturers are coming out with more and more and more. So if there's a California legal auto you guys are interested in and I didn't mention today in this video, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think should be the next thing I pick up. Same thing I'm going to mention again. If there's anything on the table right here you want to see more in depth of, and one of my prior videos did not cover that knife, or maybe you just want to see a certain angle, leave a comment below. I have all them here. Why not share them with the community? Let you guys see up close and personal what I may have missed in this video right here. Maybe you want to see weights or length comparisons, just whatever it is you want to see. Let me know in the comments. I know this was a long video. I haven't made a video this long in a while, if ever. So thanks for hanging with me this long. Again, any questions, be sure to leave a comment below, guys. Have a nice day, and bye-bye.